Okay. So here. All right, so most of you should have seen some comments if you turned in your personal brand worksheet. And just understand that I expect you to work on that throughout the semester. You may want to change some things in it, and if you do, you can comment and tell me, and I'll go look at it again. But some people followed the correct format, which made it easier for me to grade if you went in and at least some of you just answered the questions and I didn't know which question you were answering. You just kind of answered the questions that were listed there. So if you can look at some of the comments if you haven't yet on what I did there. And I think most of the ones, now I didn't look last night at who had finished some of these quizzes, but I'll go back and look again. But there's also here, we're going to talk about this content calendar, which is also talked about in chapter 3. So chapter 3 is kind of the introduction to Mimic Social, but then we're also going to watch the video and we're going to go in and I'm going to give you, we're going to read together a lot of the part that a lot of times because I usually teach this totally online, I have students do that and a lot of them skip over a lot of that so they don't do as well as they should on the social media Mimic Social. So let's, oops, that's not what I meant to get to. Let me go over to Stu Kent. And okay, chapter 3, actually the title is Social Media Marketing Strategy. And this is things that it's going to tell you in here that a lot of, yes, okay.
So for the Mimic Social, it says it's due July 30th. You have it as due July 30th.
What?
Because there's an assignment that's just called Mimic Social.
Yeah, that's, okay, yeah, I'll fix it. That's not actually due till the end of the semester. Okay. So, yeah, don't worry.
I'm kind of worried on that.
No. Those, if some of those dates say July, I've overlooked from the summer one, so don't worry about those that say July at all.
Okay.
Okay, so first we're going to go in here though into chapter 3 before we start the overview of Mimic Social. I'm going to probably about maybe 20 minutes on chapter 3, and then we're going to try to get into the actual Mimic Social. But there's a lot of things before you start the Mimic Social that you need to understand about social media marketing, because is there anyone in here that has never ever made a post to a social media account? No. See, so it's not something, I know all of you are familiar with posting, but has anyone ever done the social media marketing for a company? Anybody ever done that? Ever been a social media marketing manager? Okay, so that is what we're going to assume that role when we get into Mimic Social. We're going to be a social media marketing manager, each and every one of us. And so we're going to learn what that person needs to do. And if you go out and you look for, like, say, jobs in graphic design, like what I did this weekend, and I did something for internships, which I do it periodically because I get in my LinkedIn every day, I have 3 to 4 requests for social media manager jobs, or even just social media assistants. And they don't even have to have finished a degree. In most cases, the issue is they want you to be able to show them where you've done that kind of work and been successful at it. And you may say, well, I want to be a graphic designer. I don't want social media marketing. Well, there are hardly any graphic design jobs now that they don't want you to be able to create some post. That's just part of, they kind of classify graphic designers because image making and designs and branding and all that is part of graphic design. Therefore, they expect you to be able to know how to do some of this. Well, there is a lot of marketing strategy that goes into social media posts. And this is what we're going to find out about in this chapter. But if you did here, you just said social media internships in 2019. Look at these companies here: social media intern, HR, multinational corporation, Full Circle Youth and Family Services. They want a social media intern. This is a big company in Edmond that want internships. So the best way to really get very good at this is to get an internship, because even if you could set over somebody that is successful at it, then you learn. Like, for instance, this summer, I did volunteer work at a Life Church, and they have this massive team of graphic designers that I didn't have to build any graphics. I ran Sprout Social for them for one of their sites. And so what I would do each week on the series that they were doing, they would have a whole library of photos and graphics and things that could be used. And then they'd have a big document of blurbs that they wanted on those posts. And so in Sprout Social, you just drag those things onto a post, and then you post them according to the scheduler tells you what's the optimum time that the most people are going to look at those. And so that's what you're going to do in Mimic Social. You're going to do really the scheduling. You're going to have a big pool of graphics and videos and things to say, but you have to determine when to post those and to what platforms to post them. What do I mean by platforms? Mina?
The sites themselves.
That's right, the social media sites, right? So there's like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. There's a lot of them. And see, some businesses use a couple of them. Some try to use a lot of them ineffectively. And so it's important that you know which ones work best for what you're doing. So here in chapter 3, that's the title of it, is Social Media Marketing Strategy. So here, after reading this chapter, you should understand the following components. Has anyone read the chapter and done the quiz yet? Chapter 3? Probably because I gave you till the 10th. I shouldn't have done that, because now we have to go through. We're going to actually start on this. We're going to identify a target market and creating personas. And within Mimic Social, the company that you're going to be working with already has personas in there, and you get to pick which ones that you want to target. A persona is the demographic that you're going to target with that particular post. So you're going to conduct a social media audit, establish goals, objectives, and metrics, determine resources, roles, and responsibilities, establish a tone of voice, create and optimize social media networks. Now, that's what I've already assigned to you, that some of you have at least created your LinkedIn and your Twitter. And I told you throughout the semester, we're going to optimize those. And those are the only 2 personal accounts that I want you to create as professional. If they're not a professional account right now, then you need to work throughout this semester so that whatever screenshot that you gave me in the beginning on that personal brand that was part of it, that by the end of the semester, it should look a lot different. Okay, and we're going to learn how to optimize those, where those are professional accounts that you're going to be able to use throughout your trying to get employment. Then we're going to create a content and distribution strategy. That's what you do inside Mimic Social. Create a social media content calendar. Now, we're going to download inside your textbook, your ebook, there's a student resources. And besides the slides, Actually, I thought that's where your content calendar is. But even if you don't have it here, I have it, the content calendar already. Where did I put that? That's right there. There it is. Okay, so this social media content calendar is in Canvas right here. And we're going to talk about that today. And you're going to, by next week, have the first week of posts that you're going to do for Mimic Social filled out on the content calendar. And that's how you want to post on a scheduler, is you want to figure out at the beginning of the week and make all your posts and schedule them so that at least one is coming out every day. But you don't want to have to sit there every day and do it, right? You schedule them all at the beginning of the week. And that's how I did at Live Church too, is on Monday, I would schedule them up through the next Sunday. And so they're all scheduled to go out, but I don't have to sit there and watch it every single day. Okay. So we're going to look at that in chapter 3, also that content calendar. Now, something that is the expert session that I have you do is really important. It's called How to Set SMART Goals. All of these are really good. They have the most for some reason in this one chapter, but I only require that one, and you're going to learn what SMART goals are in the chapter. It talks about it. So I'm going to just kind of skim over the chapter because I want to get into Mimic Social, but you need to go in and read it and take the quiz before next Wednesday. I think I have it scheduled for the 10th when it has to be done, because we'll actually start on chapter 4. So I'm probably going to put that down. We might not. I'm going to have to look at that schedule again. Okay. So this social media marketing strategy outlines the tactics for how a company will incorporate social media into its business. The social media marketing plan is a living document. What does it mean by living? What's that mean? What do you think? Current, it changes. Living means that it changes. You're adding to it all the time, okay? So that's what it means by a living document that outlines an organization's social media goals and guides the actions needed to achieve these goals. The following sections in this chapter list the steps needed to create the social media marketing strategy. And in 2011, the first time I got a social media certification, which of course is outdated now, but I took it at Drury University as a master's level course. And we had to create a social media marketing plan for a business. And so this is what you're going to do throughout this semester using Mimic Social, okay? And if you can't, if you want to see where I'm at, I'm in chapter 3 up here, if you want to pull it up on your Stukent. Is there anybody yet that still does not have Stukent, hasn't gotten into it? You won't be able to catch up. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I thought I had everybody in there. Okay, so one of the very first things that we want to do is to identify a target market and create personas. And in order to, so what we want to do is, okay, we want to know, do we want to target the whole population? Is there a certain age group? It all depends on that company. And you know, this that we're developing, this social media marketing plan, it's actually part of any kind of marketing degree that you get. You have to know how to create a marketing plan. And that is, even if you're not getting a marketing degree, you have to understand how to target certain markets as a graphic designer too. How many of you, your goal is to have your own business? Okay, in graphics, and what's yours in, Raphael?
I haven't actually decided yet.
But you do want to have your own business. Okay, so this is something that's very important to entrepreneurs, because you've got to know, you know, years ago, marketing took tons of money because you had to pay for advertising, you know. And now with social media, if you're good at it, the cost is minimal. And that's where you can get started and get followers without very much money. But there's a lot of these expert sessions that you have access to also that tell you how to create successful ad campaigns without paying much money. So that's something that's good here too, because before this curriculum, you have to go out and do all your own research. Well, what Stu Kent has done is they have pulled the most current statistics and analytics and training into this one platform here. And so up until I started using this every semester, I was out there doing my own research, trying to teach students how to blog, trying to set up their own accounts. We didn't have something like Mimic Social, so you had to go out and set up all those accounts under a company name or under your own name. So this is really a good platform, and Ethan had it last time and he was having trouble getting into it, but they did give him the lifetime access to the ebook and the now the Mimic Social. I think you could get that too again, but we're just not going to do it right. So, but he already did that once. So here's the kinds of things that you want to look at as far as collecting a variety of demographic, interest, and behavior data for the target market. And so these are the things for your target market that you would be interested in. After collecting this data, group the target market in 3 to 5 customer personas. And like I was saying, in Mimic Social, this has been done for you where they have already a certain number of personas, but something that has been added to Mimic Social that wasn't in there when Ethan did it either is influencer marketing. And we're going to talk about that next week because that starts, I think chapter 13 has the chapter on influencer marketing. So, but brand targeting is like this one's here. After collecting data, a customer persona is a representation of a company's target market based on data collected from existing and target customers. Personas help companies understand the challenges customers face and guide social media marketing strategy. So for example, for a brand targeting moms, so if you had some brand that you knew or some company that was going to target moms, the brand will need to create a customer persona for moms with relevant data. So information gathered for each persona can vary, but it's important to include as much detailed information as possible to help guide the social media strategy going forward. So 2 sample customer personas for mom are shown in the images below. So this is where they've come up with a particular target market for something they're going to do here. So social media listening is the process of monitoring the internet to determine what is being said about a particular brand, topic, or industry. So these are things that you're going to do also to create your strategy. Next, you're going to create a spreadsheet of companies' existing accounts, include information such as the social media networks a company is active on. These are all details that you're going to have to do if you are going to really be the manager over a successful business. You're going to have to establish goals. Yes, Raphael? Oh, I can't find that out. It doesn't give it to me. Does it not have a forgot your password thing?
I think it might be like I used the wrong email. I don't think it might be.
Did you not use the student rater email?
It's not working, so I guess I did.
let me see. I think I do have you under students. Let me see if I can go back here. There you are right there. Oh, you didn't use the rows in there. You used Raphael-Lawrence@raider.edu. See if that'll let you in. Okay, so each one of this overall that I'm giving you, we're going to actually, this is just an overview of what you would have to do if you didn't have like Mimic Social. And since you guys haven't read through this yet, see, here's what SMART goals are. Specific means stating exactly what needs to be accomplished. Measurable means including a target metric to be met. Attainable means that the goal is challenging yet achievable. R, relevant means that goals are consistent with other established company or marketing department goals. And T, time-based means including a time limit for achieving the goals. So these are the things that you do as you're setting up this SMART framework. And, you know, a lot of times you just want to start posting and see what happens, but it's important that you have goals and measurable goals that you can set and look and see if you've reached them. Okay, we're going to go down to create. No, I think it's, because I'm going to run out of time here. So here is the one thing that I want to go through here about the social media content calendar, because you need to download that where I showed you inside Canvas, and you will submit this every week where I can see what you're posting. And at the end of the semester, it will have all of the posts from your yeah, is that hard to say? All of the posts from your Mimic Social will be on there. So there's example right here of what it looks like. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger here. Yeah, that won't go off. So it allows for social media managers to plan, create, and schedule content on a weekly or monthly basis. It lists the content types, days, times, post topics, post text, post assets, and call to action links that will be published on each social media network. So here are the ones that will see. This one should look like this. It should have this headings whenever you download it. It's an Excel spreadsheet. So if you don't have Excel on your computer at home, it probably won't open, but you can open it here. And it should have content type, so you'll select whether you're going to use an image or a video or an animated GIF or something like that. Then you'll say the day of the week and the time that you're going to post, the post topic, what you're going to print on the Facebook post, what you're going to, what the text that's going to be on the Instagram and the hashtags. And then you'll have the actual image or video in that Excel spreadsheet. And then your call to action link. And after we go into social media, you'll, or into Mimic Social, you'll know what it means. Now, every post doesn't necessarily have to have a call to action link, but it should have to have all these. So, but what your idea is that on that post, you want to be able to cause them to do something. So every content calendar should contain key themes and dates for the business, such as holidays, events, press releases, news announcements, product releases, campaigns, and more. The social media content calendar should be a living document with multiple collaborators. So what that's saying is normally you're going to have a team of people that's helping you, right? But in this case, we're doing Mimic Social as individuals. So it's just going to be your content calendar. So a weekly and monthly social media content calendar, and here it's actually right here where you can download it also in your chapter. So it's either place. Before writing posts, you're going to create the social media assets that will support each post, which will help shape the post text later on. But you don't actually have to create all of this. It's actually in Mimic Social. But you do, in some cases, create the hashtags, but some of them are already there also. I'll show you what we're going to do. So once the content calendar is complete, it's recommended for businesses to utilize a social media management tool such as Hootsuite, Sprinkle, Spinker, Sprout Social, or Buffer to schedule posts across social media networks. And you might see how Hootsuite and some of them work, because Mimic Social is actually a smaller Stukent version of Hootsuite. And you do have an assignment where you're going to go out to Hootsuite and you're going to take the platform training. You just don't have to be certified because that costs $99. But if you do want to really become good at this, that's what you'd want to do. We're going to watch this and then we're going to go into Mimic Social.
Now that you've signed up for your Hootsuite account, let's take a quick tour of the dashboard.
Which you haven't yet.
Important features including audience engagement, publishing, inbox, and analytics. Anything you want to do in Hootsuite can be found in either the header or the sidebar, with the main workspace in the center. The sidebar is where you can access core Hootsuite functionality like streams, inbox, planner, analytics, and the app directory. The header is where you'll find the composer, account settings, and the help menu. If you'd like to learn more, you can always access our Hootsuite Academy training through the help menu. Before you can unlock the power of Hootsuite, you'll need to connect your social media accounts. To do this, simply click your profile picture, manage social networks, then add either personal or organizational accounts. Accounts can also be removed in this area. Scheduling and publishing messages is one of the most popular uses of Hootsuite. Click New Post to access the Hootsuite Composer, where you can write your message, shorten links, attach visuals, schedule a publishing time, and select the networks you want your message sent to. You'll also get a per network preview of your posts to ensure they're perfect before publishing. Once you schedule the post, visit the planner to review your content. Here you can review your drafted and scheduled posts in a calendar view. Scroll through your past scheduled history or view what's next in your scheduled calendar queue. Clicking on the stream view in the sidebar is where you can monitor what's being said across all your social channels. Within individual streams, engaging with your audience is easy through retweeting, liking, commenting, and messaging options. Depending on your plan type, you may have access to Hootsuite Inbox. With Inbox, you can manage your conversations across different social channels. In one place, you can see all your inbound messages, reply to them, or assign them to teammates. If you're curious how the content you're posting is being received, click the Analytics section in the sidebar. You can view overview metrics like followers, post metrics, and engagement. Advanced uses of the analytics tool include in-depth post performance. You can also create analytics reports and share them with colleagues.
So this is what we're going to do in Mimic Social. And also when you do the platform training, you'll set up a Hootsuite account, but I don't actually have you use it in this class because Mimic Social does that. We used to use Hootsuite to schedule posts, but that is really the only way a social media manager or even assistants can keep up with social media is you have to use a scheduler where everything's pulled into one place and you can even see how to respond to everything that way. Okay, so now everybody that is anybody not logged in yet? Okay, so we're gonna go to, oops, what did I do there? Go here and back to my home. We're gonna go in first and I'm gonna go in as a student here for a minute. Yes, Raphael. You will have to email Stu Kent and ask them or call them, but you can email them. It says you can do, let's see, let me find the email address here. It's, Ethan had to do that about his, let's see here. Where, here it is. But yeah, you should have been in it before class anyway. You should have you already done the quizzes and stuff? Let's see. Let me find it. Is it Preston? No. Which one did you, I think it was Preston, yeah. Okay, so you can do this support@stukent.com. You can email to them, Raphael, and you'll have to tell them that you're having trouble logging in and give them your name and the email address that you tried to log in with, and maybe they can help you. Okay? All right. Okay, so, and what we're doing here, you'll have to go in, you'll have access to all of it once you get in. But if you go into Mimic Social, I know there was a couple of students that I noticed had already, Brandon and I think Odessa maybe, had already logged into there. So I don't know if you've read all this yet or not, but we're going to, first of all, look at the video on the instructions to use Mimic Social, because I know most of you'll just try to do it without. And so we're going to do it together in class. It's a little bit of a long video, but what you need to know is there's a lot of reading that will prepare you to make your post, and you need to read all of these things, these links about what Bowie is. That's the name of the company that you're going to be the social media marketing manager for. And so he'll explain some things here. He's kind of a goofy looking guy that does this.
Hi there. I'm Hilton, one of the developers at StuKent. You're about to experience my personal favorite project, Mimic Social. Here at StuKent, we believe that just as new pilots get to fly a simulator before they actually fly a plane, social media marketing managers should also use a simulation before they start managing thousands of dollars on the job. You've either been taught or you've been reading about social media marketing. You may have even done social media marketing at a job in the real world. Now you're about to join thousands of other students across the globe that are getting hands-on experience with social media marketing using Mimic Social. As a Mimic Social student, you'll get to launch paid social ad campaigns, write content for social media posts, select valuable pre-created content, plan and schedule posts, Manage a budget for content creation, promote content, analyze data, metrics, and results, optimize for conversions, drive engagement, practice responding to customers, and learn to target to different market segments. You'll need to think about company strategy for multiple different social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Taking the time to watch the rest of this video can save you hours of time later. Don't leave yet. We're going to walk you through all of Mimic Social, and then you'll be ready to go to work.
Has anybody watched this yet? No? Okay.
First, click to enter Mimic Social. The first thing you'll see on the right-hand side is some instructions. Please, please, please read the instructions as you go. You'll save time and do better. Totally worth it. Click the X to close out the instructions. Okay, first things first, close your eyes. You're no longer a student. You just sat down at your desk at your new job. You're now the social media marketing manager for a company called Billy Bags. You can open your eyes now. Thanks for playing along. For the best learning experience, keep envisioning that you really are on the job as the social media marketing manager for Billy Bags. Get familiar with your new position by reading through each tab of the scenario. After you've got the overview about Billy Bags, click to review the products that Billy sells. Next, click to get to know your market. This step is really important. Click on each persona to read about the different market segments of Billy's customers. It's really neat that you've been hired by a company that already has this data. You'll be able to learn about their age, gender, interests, and average income. This will serve you well as you choose who to target with each post you create. Click the Insights tab to learn about Billy's current social media presence on a variety of platforms. Note that you can see not just impressions, but also reactions, comments, clicks, shares, page likes, conversions, and the revenue currently being generated on each channel. You can also see total page likes, gender ratio, and age group by channel. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize all this info. You can refer back at any time. It is recommended that you open the scenario section of the simulation in another browser tab, so you can refer to it as often as you're creating posts. Next, click to read and learn about the budget you get to work with each round of the simulation. You'll see that in the top left, each round of the simulation is equal to 1 week on the calendar. In the bottom left, you'll always be able to see how much you've already allocated to new posts in the round, and how much is still available to allocate for the round. Click the Goals tab to make sure you understand what your new boss has set as goals for your new job doing social media marketing at Billy Bags. Now that you know what is expected of you, it is time to go to work. Click to continue. Yep, more instructions. After you've read, click to exit. It's time to get your feet wet. Now you get to create your first post. The creative team at Billy does an excellent job of creating content for you. Click the plus sign to pick which piece of content you want to prepare for publishing. You can search for bag and see posts that have content about bags, or you can click the drop down where it says all content choices to choose which type of content you're hoping to publish. You can choose between advertisements, pictures, videos, blog posts, infographics, memes, holiday advertisements, and holiday images. Mouse over the content to see how much it will cost to have the content produced, and to get more information about what is included in the content. When you find a piece of content that you like, click to select it. Now that your content has been uploaded to the post, you need to select which platforms you want your content to go live on. You can repurpose content for multiple platforms, as you likely have different audiences following you on different platforms. While you may have folks that follow you on multiple platforms, it is quite likely that they will only be checking your accounts often enough to see your posts in one place. For this example, let's choose Facebook and Twitter. Click the Facebook icon. For this example, let's choose to promote this post, since Facebook is known for rarely showing posts from business pages. Since I don't have any saved audiences, I need to create a new audience that I want to target. Before I create my audience, I need to remember the demographics for the platform and the market segments my brand relates well with. I should also consider who would be interested in the content I have chosen to post. Then I select who I will target. Ages 18 to 26. Females. Interested in Scotland, Europe, and travel. Next, I set a budget. Since I want to do a lot of posts, and I want to save budget for video and other things, I'm only going to allocate $300. Another reason for the lower budget is that this post is not a promotional post. The content is only indirectly selling product because while it does have a blue bag in the picture, it is not an advertisement. Then I better save this audience since I will most likely do more posts like this one down the road. I'll call this my Women 18 to 26 audience. If I like how the post is set, I click Done. Note that the post is set by default to run on Monday at noon. You'll want to carefully pick the time of day and the day of the week that each post will run. Let's go with Tuesday at 8 p.m. After you select the time of day, you'll still need to write the content for the post. Make sure that your posts are always engaging. Saying things that encourage people to respond and share will help. Including hashtags is sometimes wise too. Sometimes you'll want to call people to take action and go buy a product. Other times you'll just want to say something fun. Remember that you'll need to find the right balance. No one likes to interact with brands that only sell, sell, sell. Before we hit schedule, let's also post this to Twitter. Since Twitter followers are likely to see the post without paying to play, and because the nature of the content isn't promotional, I am not going to pay to promote. I simply click Done and the post will go live on Twitter too. When ready, after you have chosen which channels you'd like the post to go live on, click to schedule the post. The posts you schedule for this round, or in other words, this week, will show up below in the order you created them. If you'd like to make any adjustments, you still can by clicking the post you want to edit. After you've created all the posts you want for the round, on the left-hand side you will click Run Simulation. After double-checking to make sure you're really ready, you can run the simulation. Round 2 is an analysis round. The analysis rounds go pretty quick. They will help you learn how to analyze the data in the results of the posts you published. This will help you make better, data-driven decisions for the next round. Once you've read the instructions, click the X to get started. You'll see a set of questions. Here you'll be able to enter your responses. Note that your instructor will be able to view your responses, and it will be up to them if they plan to include your responses as part of your grade. Refer to the Analytics and Post History tabs to find your answers to the questions. Let's quickly review and answer the first question to give you an example. How many new followers, page likes, did you gain on Facebook? Click the Analytics tab to get your answer. Scroll down to where you can see the chart. Click on Page Likes. Add up the total number of likes by day by mousing over each day of the week. The total for this week is, if you notice that there are lots of days where you didn't get as good of results, be sure to spread out your posts better across the days of the week. Go back to the Questions tab to enter your answer. Repeat this process, and as you go, be sure to be thinking about how you can use this information you're gathering to improve your strategy for the next round. You may have already noticed that on the left-hand sidebar, there's a red notification circle next to the Weekly Memos tab. Click that to review important memos from the CMO. Be sure to take time to read those messages from your boss, along with any of the blog posts that he shares. Click the Posts tab. During analysis rounds, you don't create any posts. Here you'll be able to see all of your posts along with the date, time, and platform where the post went live. Review the Insights tab one last time before you complete round 2. We've already reviewed the Analytics and Post History tabs. Take a minute and see the course rankings. You're ranked among your peers in the course by total revenue generated. Not in first place? That's okay. You'll be able to catch up in later rounds. Here's one of the best kept secrets of the simulation that only the smartest students take time to review. It's the Export CSV tab. Use this data set to analyze which platforms, post types, and costs are leading to conversions. Remember that not all of the data is here. You can't see the time of day or date the post went live, and those things will also have an impact. But this will definitely help you as you strategize what posts you want to do more or less of in the next round. Click back to the Questions tab. Double check that you have answered all of the questions to your satisfaction. When you're ready, click to submit. This will take you to round 3. First, you'll land on the next weekly memo from your boss. Pay close attention to what he has to say and read all of the helpful material he shares with you. Then, click the Post tab to start creating your next posts. You're basically set up for success with what I've showed you thus far. Before I let you go, note that you have instructions available to you throughout the simulation. Also, you can always click the green Help button at any time, and if you can't find your answer there, click to contact us. The StuKent customer support team will do their best to quickly respond and get you the help you need. Best of luck with the simulation, guys. Have a great day.
Okay, I'm assuming those of you that know where that is, if you want to go back and look at it, but how many of you, has anybody read this about Buoy yet or done any of these? This is important before you start posting, but I wanted us to be able to do rounds 1 and 2. Each week you'll do 2 rounds. And so you'll do 1 round is your post and the second round is the questions. And so that's along with some other assignments. So you can tell this class is going to take some time and you have to study this stuff because you can't just go in there and make posts. Well, the first round you can do that, but then you should look at the results and see that where you're ranking among the other students. So it'll show you the rank too. So is everybody into this part? Have you got in? Everybody logged into there? Okay, so this is the part about the Buoy company. And so I want to make sure that, you know, we've got about 20 minutes left. So I want you to take the next 10 minutes and read all about, here's the products, the market. Now here you saw in the personas what are already set up. So you can pick different personas to target. And that's what they were showing you. They're already set up. Now, one thing that's really important that they'll go over in here is that your budget, they allocate $240,000 to social media marketing efforts annually. And each week you're going to get $5,000 to spend. And what it brings out here, if you don't read all this, you won't realize it, but it tells you saving some for 1 week, hoping it'll roll into the next, you don't get, it goes away that week. So you need to use as close to the 5,000 as you can each week because that's your budget, okay? And it only helps you to do that. And then here's the goals that they tell you that you need to read through. So spend about, 10 minutes right now becoming familiar with Buoy. And then we're going to do the first or create some posts before you leave so that you know how to do that. And also, I want you to be sure that you've downloaded that content calendar so you can add all of your posts into there for the week. And so go ahead and rather than me read out loud, I was just going to have you read it yourself. So go through and read this section. And you'll notice these dates are not today's date. That's because they have it set up specifically over a period of time where there's like holidays in there and things like that so that you can see how to post for holidays and all. If you have questions, raise your hand. No. Okay, Raphael, did you hear? You can come up here and let me see if we can get an answer. Did you email them?
Yes.
Did you hear anything back yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me see if I can call and get through. What time? It's 5:10. What is this number? Let me tell her. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can find StuKent. I did have their number in here. And yeah, their time is later, so we should be able to get them. Oh, there he is, Riley Pettigrew. Okay, let's see if I can. I don't know if that's his main number. Is this Riley? Okay, you probably want your number. I still had in my phone, so you may want to give me to a support person. But I have a student in my class that can't get logged in, and he's in here because he's under my students. He's just forgotten his login. So what's the best way to handle that? Yeah, he put the wrong email in, so it's not a valid email address. So even though he does forgot password, he doesn't have a way to retrieve it because it's not a valid email. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, thanks, Charlie. Bye-bye. He's gonna have support call. Because that is what the issue is. If you hit forget password, it doesn't have your correct email. So if they can change your email address, that'd be the best.
Mm-hmm.
You left the rows out, it looks like. So, let's see. So before you leave today, I want you to show me your content calendar where you know how to use it. Oh, here we go. Hello. Hi. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Right. Yes. What happened, which I've noticed because I went into mine under student, is that his email address he entered is not a valid email address, and so when he hits forget password, he can't get it because the email address is invalid. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's Lawrence. He's actually in here 2 times. Raphael. One of them I see here is paid, and the other one he must have tried again, and it's unpaid. But he has the one that says Raphael Lawrence at raider.edu, and it should say at raider.rose.edu. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Can you change that one to have the right email? The one that's paid then, I guess. what we need to do. Okay, no, it should say, no, neither one of them are actually correct. The one, no. Yeah. It should be Raphael-Lawrence at raider.rose.edu. That's correct. Okay. Yes, he can go in. Yeah, and do you remember your password? To the one right here, or does he just need to say forgot password and it'll send it to the email again? Okay. Okay, go try to go and do the correct email address in there and then say forgot password and it'll send it to your email. Oh, it looks like it logged you in. So just go to mimic social. It looks like that password that was in there was right. Well, he doesn't, but it must be in there. He says he doesn't remember. I don't know how it did it. It had it in there though. Did you maybe have it saved on the browser? No. Well, if it doesn't, you want to change it at that end? Can you change it? No, I mean, okay, do you want him here? Why don't you tell him what you want it to be? Here, you know what you want it to be. Just give him something. Give him something you can remember. 0424 2001. Okay, you said 0424 2001. Capital R, lowercase l. Okay. So does he need to log out? Okay, but log out. Yeah. Okay. What do they usually put in there? I think that's his birthday. It's still letting me log in automatically. But he said that we need you to log in. He said that one is
then, sir? Sir? Yeah,
How's everybody doing? You understand it all? Yes. Well, no, not until you, okay, you don't run simulation until you've done all the posts that you want for that week.
Okay, so we're supposed to be setting up posts.
Yeah, at least set up one post, but then you can work on it some more through the week.
I don't remember how to bring it up.
Stupend?
No, the,
Mimic Social? Yeah, you gotta go to Stupend.
oh, so I was right. So I was in it and then I,
Yeah, and then you go out to the home, go up to your, all the way up. Now click home.
oh, and then go to this.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're saying.
Jonathan, where's yours? Do you have a login?
Oh,
Have you done it? Did you do what I asked y'all to do? So when you're by yourself, I'm assuming that you'll know how to do it all and you'll have it submitted. That's the only reason I'm doing it in class, everybody. Now, did you have any problem, Chase? Did you get it? It's what?
it's fine.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we're about done with today. We got about 5 minutes left. Anybody have any questions? So what we'll do then is next time, let me go back to where I'm in social media. Oh, I didn't go in as student. So who has anything set up? Let's look at Brandon. He's already, have you set up something? Answers. So you'll do, oh, I don't know why Ethan's is on there. Okay, so here's my report, and that shows, that'll show me each time who all's logged into Mimic Social. And we're going to do throughout the semester, there'll be 20 rounds. So that means you do 2 rounds a week. So that's 10 weeks, all right? So at the end of 10 weeks, you'll be through, but there'll be reports that we'll do along the way. So let me see who's done. Did anybody, you did some posts, didn't you, Sydney? Did you just do a post?
No,
You're just playing with it? Okay, yeah, your age group and all that. So when you create your post, if you're doing your post first, then you still want to go over to the content calendar that I had you download. And so you'll put all of those posts in there and what time of the day that you schedule them. Now, as you read the chapters, and you'll see like there's a Facebook chapter, it tells you when the optimum times for certain age groups, or you can even go out to and Google that and say, hey, when is the best time? So like when I look at the reports, it's going to rank you all by each round, who ranks the highest by the ones that have the most engagements, the most clicks. What's a conversion? You know what a conversion is?
You sell something.
You sell something, good. So those are going to be the ones that get you the most points, right? Is if you get posts that get a conversion. And hopefully, as you go along, you'll get better at the post. So the first round, you may not do very good. You may rank low or something, but it doesn't matter, because as the semester goes on, hopefully you learn how to do posts to create better rank. And some of you may think you were no good at all, and all of a sudden your rank goes up to the top. You're like, how did that happen? And so you want to go back and see what you did that worked, right? Okay, so you got a game to play, right? Sims. All right, so any questions? So be sure next time that you've at least read chapter 3 and taken the quiz, because that's due by September 10th, which is the Tuesday night, okay? And there's also that expert session. That's why this one's worth 20 points, because there's the expert session on SMART goals. Here's the content calendar that you can download. This is the link directly to the video that comes up in instructions in your Mimic Social. It's the same video. And then here, you don't actually put anything here, okay? This is just telling you this is how it's going to be graded. But this isn't actually, you don't put anything there. I will give you your grade for that at the end of the semester, because I look at where you rank. Okay, so those are the things that for sure you need to get done before next time. And so your content calendar, your Excel spreadsheet, whenever you get 1 week done, you just can take a screenshot of it. And right now, right here in this week, I'll put another submit assignment here, and you'll submit that screenshot of your content calendar each week, okay? And then at the end, I'll actually take your content calendar, and that's going to be worth more points than some of the other things. All right? Okay. See you guys next Wednesday. If you have questions, just my office hours are on there, but I will tell you that, oh, let me make sure here that